Cast your mind back to the beginning of 2018 and it was the swap deal that everyone was talking about. Alexis Sanchez with Henrikh Mkhitaryan going the other way between Arsenal and Manchester United. Now they're both going to Serie A. Disasters all round?
Yeah. There is no redeeming quality of this for anybody, for Mkhitaryan or for Alexis Sanchez for that matter. Now, in terms of the attention that he gets, it's probably more about the flop that Alexis Sanchez was at Manchester United, and much was expected from him. Henrikh Mkhitaryan just kind of flies under the radar compared to the failures of Alexis Sanchez, but regardless, neither one of them did their job or what was expected of them, and both of them go out the back door and almost pushed out of the back door, hoping the clubs, including Manchester United and Arsenal here, they say, go elsewhere, man, because right now there's no space for you here and we don't want you around. That's a tough place to be. You're a player.
Both of these players have ended up doing the same thing, but they're completely different characters. Sanchez, through his struggles, looks as though he's trying, but gets nothing done. Whereas Mkhitaryan's kind of the opposite. You talked about him flying under the radar. Well, how about where is he? So, when you play for the biggest clubs, you have to produce. It's all about producing. And for me, I think the worst one out of the two is Mkhitaryan. Because this guy looks as though he needs an arm round his shoulder every minute of every hour of every day. And when you go and play for the big clubs, you can't have somebody doing that. You have to grow up and you have to get yourself some and get your chest out and look after yourself and be a man about everything. For me, Mkhitaryan has gone and hidden. I think he's hiding. I don't believe Sanchez is hiding. I just think he's not doing well. He's struggling. I think he's lost half a yard. As for Mkhitaryan, I'm sorry. I've never been so disappointed in a player who at Dortmund looked incredible. But he's collapsed since he went to the Premier League.
I look at the Alexis Sanchez situation as evaluating what the player was and what he became, and how important he was to Arsenal and what the expectations were of him going into Manchester United. And he was in the shadow of that player. And so for me, that's where I think, if Henrikh Mkhitaryan plays well, that's a plus. If you get a lot from him, that's a plus. But Alexis Sanchez not giving you what you expected of him now is a humongous hole that you have in your locker room and out on the field as well, because he was supposed to be an angular piece in your attack. And that was not the case for Manchester United. Manchester United right now should not be in the business of pushing players away because they're short of talent to begin with. But this is how bad and how disrupted the situation became for Alexis Sanchez within that organization, that they say, you know what, you're better else somewhere else.
Yeah, notwithstanding all of those criticisms for both players who just haven't shown up or haven't turned up, haven't turned on the style that they were expected to at both their clubs, both of them might point to circumstances at those clubs not being ideal. Of course, Mkhitaryan was really just a make-weight.
No, cop-out, absolute cop-out. Listen, at the end of the day, Sanchez at Arsenal was playing in a team that wasn't particularly great, right? And after every game, you saw him sitting in the halfway line, trying to figure out what's going on with the rest of this lot, because he was doing his stuff. So it's this situational stuff that people keep throwing around is nonsense. At the end of the day, when you're as experienced as these two guys are, they're both 30 years old. They're not 19, they're not kids. I'm not having this. This is a complete cop-out.
Do you see them, either of them, having a renaissance at Inter for Sanchez and Roma, as it's rumoured to be, for Mkhitaryan?
Maybe
Sanchez?
Yeah, and I look at Sanchez and I give him a glimmer of hope simply because of what I saw from him in Copa America with Chile. That kind of showed me there's still something here.
Still fire.
Yeah, there is something there that you can still exploit. But man, you're going to have to dig deep, because you also are going to have to bring back his confidence, you're going to have to bring back his fitness. If you do, you have a chance.
Okay, so Alexis Sanchez goes back to Serie A, where he became a star at Udinese, going back 8 or 9 years now. And then you look at Henrikh Mkhitaryan, moving on to another top European league. Will it happen for him? Trying to find a home with Roma.